Hello students, welcome back to the discussion on Paripurna, and today we shall be discussing five important current affairs from 14th November. So let's start our discussion. Our first topic is for the mains lens, and the topic is growth of India's CO2 emissions expected to slow down significantly in 2025. So today we will break down a very important climatic report which was released by Global Carbon Project. So this report is not no just a data set. It tells whether the world can achieve the 1.5 degree centigrade target or not. That we have to limit the temperature rise to 1.5 degree, right? So this report has provided various data and facts through which we can conclude that whether this can happen or not. Okay. Now, before describing this topic in detail, let's discuss for which paper this topic is important. So it will help you in GS paper 3, that is the environment. It will also help you in GS paper 1, that is geography, and also it will help you in essay. Okay, related to climate change or world efforts or no global governance, these all things. Okay, so let's begin our topic in detail. So first of all, let us discuss what is Global Carbon Project. Okay, so Global Carbon Project is basically a scientific body that tracks the global fossil fuel emissions. Global fossil fuel emissions. So this body tracks these emissions. And also this report releases, this body releases this report. Which report? It is the Global Carbon Budget Report. Let me write here. It is the Global Carbon Budget Report. So it is released annually by this body every year. Now, this report has highlighted one big headline. And what is that one big headline? That is India's CO2 emissions from fossil fuels will grow only by 1.4% in 2025, which was 4% in the last year. So, can you see the difference? That India's fossil fuel emissions are reducing from 4%, the increment comes down to just 1.4%. Okay, so this is very sharp slowdown, right? Now let me ask you, is this slowdown because of smart policies of the government, or no, just because we got lucky or there was lucky weather conditions? So no, don't worry, we will be discussing the reasons for that, the reasons for this. We will be describing everything. Now, let's discuss India's current emission status. Okay, then only we can understand that what does it mean for India, that what the emission reductions mean for India. So, first very important point is that as we know that in 2024 the emissions were increasing by 4%. So, in 2024 India emitted around 3.2 billion tons of CO2. Okay, but in 2025, it is expected to reach only 3.22 to 3.23 billion tons. So it is a reduction from 4%, right? And please remember that India is third largest emitter of carbon dioxide after China and USA. Okay, and no, if you can remember, UPSC has asked this question about the per capita emissions of India. I think it was in 2025 only that about the per capita emissions of India. So please remember, India's per capita emission is just about 2.2 tons, which is second lowest among the G20 countries. So don't we need to remember this, but no, please remember at least this data that per capita India's per capita emission is very very low. Okay, now, but this is a very crucial point for the climate justice debates. Why I am saying this? Because see, per capita emission of India is very low. So, no, should it be held to the same climatic obligations For example, if I'm talking about any developed country, for example, USA. So USA would be having some particular responsibility towards developing nations because it is the second largest emitter also, right? So can we say that India will be having the same responsibility of emission reduction as it is for USA? No, you cannot say that, right? Because yesterday only we read about common but differentiated responsibility, that every country have the responsibility, but it depends on your priorities, it depends on your capabilities. Okay, so no, this can be used as no ethics plus there is ethics and environmental angle, both kind of things are there. Ethics and environment because it is related to emissions, and ethics because India per capita emission is less, so India's no contribution and responsibility is also less. Now, this thing is all the more important because at present, coal dependence on coal for India is very high. But still, if India's emissions are reducing, then it is very good thing for India. Okay, so this is the thing about the India's current status. Now, let's discuss what are the reasons that no why India's emission growth is slowing down. See, please remember this data because no, you can use it in any point that India's CO2 emissions will grow only by 1.4% because see, it is no very big reduction. So please remember this. Now let's discuss some of the reasons in brief. So, no, first very important factor is the early and good monsoon. Because what happens, no, if no, the monsoon is very good, so the cooling demand will be less, right? Because the temperature will somewhat reduce. And if temperature will somewhat reduce, so there will be less need of ACs and coolers. And if there is less need of ACs and coolers, the demand for electricity will automatically reduce. And if demand for electricity is reducing, demand for coal is also reducing because major electricity is produced from coal only, right? So this is one major thing. And second, if you can, what you can say is, if monsoon is very good, then the need for irrigation will be less. And if need for irrigation is less, then need for diesel pumps will also be less. And if need for diesel pumps is less, then the no emissions will automatically reduce. So this is the thing for early and good monsoon. Now, second thing is since India is pushing for renewable energy growth also, especially solar power and after that wind power also. So because of this also, the emissions, carbon dioxide emissions and other greenhouse gas emissions will automatically reduce. Okay, so now, what is the combined effect with less coal burned? The emission, no, what is the combined effect of this? Again, I am repeating. Emissions grew only by 1.4% in the year 2025. Okay, so this suggests a very possible decoupling. Decoupling of what? Economic growth from carbon emissions. So, see, now we cannot say that if we want economic growth, then the carbon emissions are inevitable. We cannot say that now because what this scenario is showing us that economic growth is happening. Obviously, India is growing, but emissions are also reducing. So what is happening here? Decoupling is happening. Decoupling of economic growth with carbon emissions. So you can use this keyword. This is very important keyword. Decoupling of economic growth with carbon emissions. Okay, so that's a very big milestone for India, right? So even you can use this keyword in mains also. I will write it again. Decoupling of, you can also write it, decoupling of emissions from economic growth. Okay, so you can use it in any conclusion or essay. Now, let's discuss some of the global trends. Because see, even if the emissions from India side are reducing, but India is not the only country, right? And as we already discussed, that per capita emissions of India are very less. So it's not like if emissions in India is increasing, overall emissions will reduce. No, it's not like that. So let's discuss some of the global emission trends. So see, while India trend is encouraging, world is not doing well. Please remember this. World is not doing well. Why world is not doing well? Because overall global emissions will rise by 1.1% in 2025. And because of this, the emissions will be around 38 billion tons. So this is very not very good thing. And let's discuss about some of the major emitters because China is first and USA is second. So let's discuss about them. So China will be contributing around the emissions will increase around 0.4%. And for United States, emission will increase around 2%. See, this percentage might look very less, but as you know, their emissions are no already very high, as we already discussed. 12 billion tons, 5 billion tons. So even if the percentage is less, the emission will be very high with no such low percentage. Okay. Now, let's discuss about something about carbon budget. Here comes very important thing. See, the report says the remaining carbon budget for 1.5 degree centigrade is 170 billion tons. I will explain what is the meaning of this line. See, no, our target was that we have to limit the temperature rise to 1.5 degree centigrade, right? But no, the remaining carbon budget is 170 billion tons. So first of all, understand what is carbon budget. Carbon budget means the maximum amount of CO2 people can still emit without without exceeding the global warming limit. Global warming limit of 1.5%. So it means that still no you can emit 1.170 billion tons, and even after that also the temperature will not rise above 1.5 degree centigrade. But no, this is very less amount, 170 billion tons, because the rate at which the global CO2 emissions are increasing, no? So we have buffer just for the 4 years. And after 4 years, the temperature will again will start to increase from 1.5 degrees centigrade. So please remember what is the meaning of carbon budget, because no, it alone can be asked as no direct question in UPSC prelims. So what is the meaning of carbon budget? It is a kind of buffer. Okay. No, where you can still emit the particular amount of carbon dioxide before exceeding the global warming limit. Okay. Now, we discussed no about the carbon budget. So, what is the meaning of this? The world may cross 1.5 degree limit before 2030, because we are saying no that no we have buffer just for the 4 years, and it is no end of the 2025. So before 2030, we may cross this 1.5 degree limit. Okay. Now, coming to the conclusion. So in conclusion, no, we will just summarize everything. So what was the most important thing which we discussed in the article? That India's carbon emissions will grow only by 1.4% in 2025, which was 4% in 2024. So this was major good thing. And no, what were the reasons for this? Reasons for this was the favorable monsoon conditions, and second reason was the promotion of renewable energy. Now, third thing what we discussed, that since no though India condition is very good, but globally the emission condition is not good. Fourth thing we discussed is that 1.5 degree carbon budget will exhaust in around 4 years. Okay. So, one thing is very clear in the report that India may be doing well, but the world is heading in the wrong direction, right? So, this can be the conclusion. So, please note some of the important things about this keyword like carbon budget, about the amount of carbon budget which can exceed in 4 years. Okay, about the global emission trends, about the reasons why India's emission is slowing down. So these things are important in today's article. Okay, now let's move to second article. That is, sorry, that is Saranda forest. So what is the context? The Supreme Court has directed Jharkhand government to declare particular area of Saranda forest as wildlife sanctuary. So first of all, note that what is important from prelims perspective. One thing is that Saranda forest in Jharkhand. Okay. Second thing we have to discuss, no, that what all procedure is required to declare any particular area as wildlife sanctuary. And third thing, what we can discuss the difference between wildlife sanctuary and national park. And fourth thing you can do, it will be homework for you. You can look for the location of Saranda forest on map. Okay. So let's discuss some important points from prelims perspective. So first thing is this forest is located in West Singhbhum district of Jharkhand. Okay, so please remember this thing. It is located in West Singhbhum district. Second thing is it is known as Asia's biggest sal forest. Okay, and is also considered one of the world's most pristine sal forests. So basically this forest is known for sal trees. Now, please tell me in the comment section that sal trees are related to which type of forest, whether they are evergreen or whether they are deciduous or whether they are related to thorn forest. Please let me know in the comment section. Now, other important thing about this forest is, no, this Saranda Forest Division accounts for around one fourth of India's iron ore reserve. This is very important thing. It accounts for around one fourth of iron ore reserve, and it contains two important iron ore mines. So what are those mines? These mines are Kiriburu iron ore mine and Mega Hataburu iron ore mine. Okay, so please remember these two iron ore mines. And other important thing, UPSC generally ask question about tribes. So no, what are the tribes in these areas? So main tribes are Ho, Munda, Oraon. Okay, so these are the main tribes in Singhbhum district of Jharkhand. Okay, so now, coming to who can declare an area as wildlife sanctuary, whether it is just the state government, whether it is just the central government, or whether both of them. Okay, so first of all, please remember any area can be declared as wildlife sanctuary under Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, so this act is important. This is important act. Now, who can declare? So this declaration can be done both by central governments as well as by state government. Okay. So the state government declare any area as wildlife sanctuary based on some criteria, which can be ecological, geomorphological, natural significance. Okay. Now, so as we have already discussed, no, that central government can also declare any area as wildlife sanctuary and national park. Now, so two things were important. Act was important, and who can declare was important. And you don't need to remember the criteria because it is very simple. Even if it is asked in the exam, no. So obviously you can say, okay, these all were the criteria. Now, one homework for you. What is the homework? See, there are many differences between national park and wildlife sanctuary, but in the comment section, you have to tell me which is the most important point of difference between these two protected areas. Because UPSC has already asked this question. I think UPSC has given the name of one protected area, and UPSC has asked that no, I think human activities is strictly prohibited in this area or not. So if you are well aware about the features of national park and wildlife sanctuary, you can easily say that human activities are permitted or not. So please tell me in the comment section which is the most important point of difference. Okay. Now, let's move to the next topic. So, our next topic is related to universal immunization program and hepatitis A. So, again, I am saying hepatitis is very important topic because it is already asked by the UPSC. Okay. So, now please focus on the important points related to prelims. So, what is the context here? The context is there is a debate that under in universal immunization program more vaccines should be added. Okay. And the major push is for typhoid conjugate vaccine and hepatitis A vaccine. So now we have to focus on typhoid as a disease. We have to focus on hepatitis and other forms of hepatitis, and we should discuss about universal immunization program for prelims. So let's start. So about universal immunization program. So earlier its name was Expanded Program for Immunization in 1978, and the name was changed in 1985. So in 1978 it was Expanded Program of Immunization. Then the name changed in 1985 to Universal Immunization Program. And what is the main aim of this program? Its aim is to provide vaccines for the preventable diseases. Very, very important point. What is the main aim? Its main aim is to provide vaccines for preventable diseases. And initially, there were six diseases in this. So these were the six diseases that tuberculosis, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, poliomyelitis, and measles. So now, over a period of time, other diseases were also included. So it's not like I'm not saying you have to remember each and every disease under the program, but at least the initial six diseases you can remember. These are very easy to remember. Okay, maybe it can help you in the elimination technique in UPSC prelims. So please focus on this. Now, coming to some more points. So, as I said, that no, over a period of time, other vaccines were also added. So, now vaccines related to hepatitis B, related to rotavirus, these all vaccines were added over a period of time. And Mission Indradhanush was launched in 2014 to cover unvaccinated children. So, no, UPSC can easily ask that no, Mission Indradhanush is related to no which sector? No, Mission Indradhanush was launched to tackle the challenges in which sector. So you have to focus on this also. You have to focus on the year also. And what is the main aim? You have to focus on this also. Now, see, as in the context, we have discussed two things that is about the typhoid and hepatitis. So you must be know about the important prelim related facts. So first is about the typhoid, that whether it is caused by virus or bacteria. So it is caused by Salmonella typhi, sorry. So it is bacteria. And what is the mode of spread? So it is spread through contaminated food and water. Okay. So these two things are only very important, that which kind of microorganism and what is the mode of transportation. Sorry, mode of contamination. So it is caused by bacteria, and it spreads through contaminated food and water. Now, let's discuss about hepatitis. See, hepatitis topic is very, very important because it is already asked in UPSC. So see, there are five types of hepatitis virus. Okay, so I think UPSC has asked a question on two or three types. So you should remember, you should know the basic facts of all the five types, so that if the question is asked on other types also, no, so you are well aware. So please focus on the points I am highlighting. First of all, talking about hepatitis A virus. So this is the most common type of viral hepatitis virus. Okay. Now, what is the main cause of this virus? So no, it generally spreads in the area where sanitation is very poor. Okay. Where sanitation is very poor. So hepatitis A virus can easily transmit, and it commonly spreads through fecal oral route. Please remember this. It commonly spreads to fecal oral route, and it's not like it spreads only through fecal oral route. Some sexual practices can also spread HIV virus. See, I think UPSC has one time asked a question on Zika virus, that what is the mode of transportation of Zika virus, and sexual practices was also one of the option in which students got confused. So please remember, if you are reading about any disease, no, so please remember all the modes of transportation. Okay. Now, coming to, and this thing also you have to remember, that whether vaccines are available or not. So, for hepatitis A virus, vaccines are available. Okay. Now, coming to hepatitis B virus. So, what is the mode of transmission? It generally spreads through infective blood, semen, and other bodily fluids. Okay. Also, they can spread from infected mothers to infants. Okay. So, this is similar to HIV. In HIV also, these are the modes of transportation. Now, what is the prevention or whether vaccines are available. So yes, vaccines are available for this thing. So please focus on the lines I am highlighting. These are very important points. Now, coming to hepatitis C virus. So what are the mode of transportation, mode of transmission here? So they also spreads through infective blood or other bodily fluids, blood or blood products. Now, is the vaccine available? No, vaccine is not available. Very, very important thing that vaccine for hepatitis C is not available. And another question, is sexual transmission of this virus possible? Yes, sexual transmission is possible. So it is possible for C also, and uh, here also we read, no, it is possible for A also. Now, coming about talking about hepatitis D virus. So hepatitis D virus occurs only in those who are infected by hepatitis B virus. Okay. So please remember where the word only is used, please remember because UPSC can also give this word only. And you always think no that only keyword no the statement containing only keyword is always wrong. So if only is there, so please remember this word that it occurs only in those who are infected with hepatitis B virus. Okay. Now, what is the prevention? That means is the vaccine available? So yes, vaccine is available for hepatitis B virus. Sorry, D virus. Now coming to hepatitis E virus. So what is the mode of transportation? It is the consumption of contaminated food and water. Okay, and is the vaccine available? So no, effective vaccines are available, but they are not widely used. So basically, what are the points to remember? There is no vaccine available for hepatitis C virus. Okay. And sexual transmission is possible for hepatitis A virus and hepatitis C virus. Now, let's summarize a few points about hepatitis. They can be asked in UPSC. So, what are the facts? That hepatitis A and E are caused by contaminated food and water through fecal oral route. Second thing is hepatitis B, C, D are caused due to the contact of infect body fluids, no blood, semen, these all things. Hepatitis B and C can cause chronic hepatitis, and no maximum hepatitis diseases are caused by B and C only. Okay. Sorry, maximum hepatitis mortality are caused by B and C only. Okay. And other important thing is no vaccine is available for hepatitis C. Please remember this point. No vaccine is available. Okay. Now, coming to next topic, that is India-Botswana Cheetah Translocation Pact. Okay, so what is the context here? The President of India visited Botswana and President announced the translocation of 8 cheetahs from Africa to India. So it is related to cheetah translocation. Now, let's discuss some of the prelims related facts. So first of all, details of the translocation. So the cheetahs who are to be translocated, they originate from Ghanzi region, which is located in Kalahari Desert. So for prelims, you must know the location of Kalahari Desert. That Kalahari Desert, no, is included in which countries? So it is in Namibia, it is in Botswana, it is in South Africa. So this is the location of Kalahari Desert. Okay. And now second point is this translocation is part of Project Cheetah. Okay, so now another thing for you. Please tell me in the comment section that Project Cheetah was launched in which year? Because this project is very, very important. So please tell me the year in the comment section. Okay, now, no, in 2022, 8 cheetahs were already brought from Namibia and released in Kuno National Park. Okay, so it started with Kuno National Park. Now, selection of the reintroduction sites, let's discuss about them. So, 2 sites were selected. First is Kuno National Park, and second is Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so please tell me in the comment section that Kuno National Park is located in which state? Because this is very important protected area. Please tell me Kuno National Park is located in which state? Now, quickly, let's discuss what is the significance of reintroduction. Means why we are doing such things. why we are taking this risk. So, no, we will discuss the ecological importance of cheetah. So, actually, cheetah helps in restoring grassland predator. Sorry, cheetah helps in restoring grassland ecosystem. How it does that? See, as we know that cheetahs already got extinct in 1952 in India. Okay, so their reintroduction will help to restore the top predator in grassland ecosystem. For no, if we talk about food chain, so cheetahs will become top predator in the food chain. And if top predators are there in the food chain, no, so it will maintain the ecological balance, right? And second thing is that no, sorry, as we know that cheetah is a carnivore, right? So these carnivore helps to prevent the overgrazing. Why they will prevent overgrazing? Because they will feed on some of the species, no, some of the grazing species. So they will prevent overgrazing, and this overgrazing is prevented, then grassland ecosystem can be protected. Okay, and if grassland ecosystem is protected, then it will improve the soil stability, it will improve the habitat health, etc. Okay, so this is the importance of reintroduction of cheetah. Now, coming to next topic, that is resin poisoning. So what is the context here? Actually, three men are arrested who were trying to produce this resin compound. Actually, this resin compound is very poisonous. Okay, so they were arrested because no, they were trying to produce this lethal compound. Now let's discuss some prelims related facts. So what is resin? Actually, resin is a protein which can be extracted from castor bean. So, no, this is the image of castor bean. So, it can be extracted from these kind of beans. And these kind of beans are grown industrially in countries like India, China, Brazil. Okay. And no, why these three persons were arrested? Because this resin compound is very lethal. How lethal it is? 1 mg, or if 1 mg of this compound is mixed in food, no, so it can kill an adult. So it is very lethal. And now how it is produced? So see, during the processing of castor oil, resin is removed because it is poisonous. So this poisonous compound is removed as a result. Now oil is safe to use. And one more important thing, resin is very lethal and it is listed in Schedule 1 under Chemical Weapons Convention. So this thing also you can remember because this compound is in news also and it is very lethal also. So this type of question can be asked in prelims. Now, one interesting fact that no, this compound was used as a chemical agent during World War One, and also it was used by Iraq in 1980. So it is that lethal that it was used in World War One also. Now let's discuss quickly that what is the mechanism of action, means why it is called lethal. So actually, no, for example, this is ribosome. So resin will attach itself to the ribosome. And as you already know from basic knowledge of biology, that ribosomes are responsible for the synthesis of proteins. Okay, so when resin attaches itself with the ribosomes, no, so it binds with the ribosomes and stops protein synthesis. Okay, and if protein synthesis is stopped, then it can lead to no very bad effects for our body. So this is the main impact of resin chemical compound. Okay, so that's all for today's discussion and we shall meet in next video. Thank you.